I have done a few upgrades. I have learned from the TikTokers and the influencers about my microphone so you can hear me better. And I also am using my back camera instead of using the front camera. So hopefully I actually look like I'm looking at you instead of looking at myself to make sure everything is on screen. Um, I'm a little bit of a hot mess today because it's 91 degrees here and hot. And I am going to be dyeing fabric today. So I need to be wearing something that I don't care if I get dye or stain on it or anything. So let's do that. This is going to be messy, hence the attire and everything, but I'm going to try and show you all what I'm working on. My plan right now is to dye elastic and my base panties and a corset and a bra and extra fabric in case in case the bra doesn't work out and I have to line it. Oh, and gloves. And I think that covers everything. I bought the tool and stuff for my skirt, so that process is coming later. I finished wrapping feathers. I should go up and get the feathers. Sorry, I finished wrapping the headdress and now I just had to add the rhinestones, which I'll probably film later. But this is what I'm working on right now. And let's go on an adventure. So right now I'm just waiting. I'm using excuse me, write more, dye, not sponsored, not an influencer either. So I'm using that. I'm using the instructions on their website because I don't dye very often and it really stresses me out every time I get really anxious about it. So we're going to see. The first step is to wet everything down or wash it if you prefer in warm water, no soap. And then I am boiling water on the stove. Once it's boiling, I'll add the dye, do a test, and so on. So we'll be back when it's boiling.
Okay, so I tried to speed this up because it's way too long and I was rambling, but just to give you the rundown of what I'm doing is I looked up a similar color on the Rit Dye website to give me the measurements that I should try. That is a piece of the fabric I bought for the skirt that I needed. I was using it as my color match. So my goal was to try and get the color as close to that yellowy mint green. I used some extra strips of the fabric I was going to dye as my test pieces just to see where I was, because that's just the way that I've known to do it is use test strips. And so I did this first test strip, and you'll see it looks much bluer than it actually turned out to be. As you can see, compared, it's still a little bit blue, so I actually went in and added a bit more yellow through a second piece of test fabric in there to see the comparison. That looked much better to me. I was very happy with that. Also, the length of time was in there made it darker. I knew that was going to happen. I just was impatient. And so now you can kind of see the difference. So the one on the left side of the screen is the second version when I added more yellow. I felt really good about that. So that was kind of the measurements that I went with for that process. Then I did it pieces at a time. So I tried to find similar pieces of fabric or things that didn't really matter. The gloves, that cheap material died super, super quick. So I think I had them in there for a minute and then those came out. The bra already started as like a nude color. So I knew that that dyeing was going to be different, but this was just to see. I already planned to cover that with the fabric I dyed to match the panties. So this was more just to like test for me. I don't think in hindsight now I will probably cover it, but I wanted to try because why not? And then I went through each process and just kind of did all of those pieces. I did the all the pieces for the corset at the same time. I did the elastic, which also took less time than the gloves did because they took up so much dye. And then the process, once you're happy with them in the dye, you rinse them in warm water until the water runs clear and then cooler water as it stays clear. And here you can see.
I'm too tall to do this view. I need a cameraman. Anyways, a few things I've learned as I've been dyeing now. I saved the whitest fabric for last. I'm not sure why I did that. I think I was just nervous. And it was not picking up any dye. I added more dye and magically that worked. So if you're doing multiple dips or multiple things, you're gonna have to put dye in again. So I did that better. I'm hoping I'm not gonna need to do that again, but we'll see. This piece of fabric, for some reason, it's the same fabric I used for my little tester strips, but for some reason it's taking forever. Okay, I think everything's turned out good. I am moving on to the feathers. I'm so nervous. I've never done this before, so this is a little scarier. I got 5, just kind of, they're white, off-white, more white feathers. Wish me luck. I don't know. Oh. So these are very blue. Very, very blue. I'm going to rinse them. I literally just dipped them for like a hot second. I'm going to rinse them and see. Okay, not terrible. Oh, actually, I don't hate that. The blue seems to come out first. I also noticed I had to put more yellow in. The yellow seems to absorb first. So I don't hate that, actually. I thought it was going to be blue, but it's not. So I'm just going to do, because I didn't get the bottom, I'm going to do one more sweep in here. And then I'm probably going to call that. And then we're going to use the fixative and then throw them in the wash. And I will be back.
I actually don't know why this video didn't record the audio. I'm kind of annoyed about it, but that's okay. Sped it up double time so you can see this is all of the pieces after they went through the washing machine on warm cycle with soap. That is my piece of comparison fabric. As you can see, pretty good, right? They're all maybe not exactly the same tone, which is going to happen because there's different pieces of different types of fabric, but as a comparison, that piece that I just showed you was the piece I used on the old costume. So you can see there is a color difference, which is why I wanted to do these things. I'm really happy how they turned out, and I cannot wait to move on to the next step of this process.
Okay, so that was turned out better than I expected. I I feel like I'm always afraid I'm going to mess it up, and I know that every time I do something it gets better. So I don't know why I doubt myself enough. Anyways, it's done. Yay. So the next things that I will work on are once those things are dried, I need to finish the panties. I need to cover the bra and put the elastic, basically build the rest of those base pieces. And then my rhinestones I ordered to supplement what I already have should arrive, and I can just get to decorating. I already got, hang on. Okay, so I already got new fringe. If you recall, the other costume has like blue and white beads, but it's heavy beads like you would see on a lamp. Lessons learned. I found this beautiful mint seed bead fringe, which I'm very excited about. And then I just got some nice white crystal to just beef it up a bit. So I'll probably layer it and put the mint on top for the swag on the panties and on the corset and bra and everything. And then I had bought from Planet Rhinestone these roped or chains of rhinestones. So I'm going to use this Crystal AB one, and this is what I'm going to put on the headpiece. So I'm going to do that because that's the last piece I need. And then hopefully my next video can show kind of the base pieces done before decorating, and also maybe the skirt. The skirt is a big piece. I already started it. I'm not going to show it in this video. I already started it. I need the tool now to keep going. So I will still save that for a later video. But I'm very excited. We're moving here because I want to put this, I want to be able to do this act again. So I would love to have this costume finished. So yay, stay tuned.